Hi, thank you for watching Chittarupa Yoga and Fitness. Remember, you can find me on patreon.com now as well with the same Google sign-in that you use for YouTube. I'm Laura Wilson, 200-hour certified yoga instructor, and today we are going to look at some deep stretches for our chest and upper back. I am recommending and going to be demonstrating the use of 2 blocks and a strap. So if you have those handy, a belt or a towel will work for this as well, and you might even be able to roll up a towel or a couple of towels to use in place of the blocks. So go ahead and get what you need. Meet me here on the mat. So let's begin sitting tall. We are going to do a little bit of warm-up for our chest and back today. If you need more of a warm-up, there is a link to one in the description. But let's just begin here with a little shrug forward and back, and just getting in touch with this area of our body, this part of our spine, the thoracic spine, and the chest area of our rib cage. Pretty much we're going to be looking at the whole rib cage area. Let's start to make this bigger with a little clapping in front and back. We are going to do a little bit more of a trunk warm up, just to get it ready to be open. And again, it's better if our body is warm, so if you're in a warm room, that'll help. Let's move side to side, or if you've done some other working out before this. And I'm recording this in the summer, so if you've come in from outside, you're probably warm enough to do this too. And let's just do a quick, easy little twist, both sides. All right, so let's go ahead and we're just going to begin with some basics. The first one, to stretch our upper back, we're going to begin with a big hug. So let's take one arm over the other and just start right here. And one thing we can do is use our fingers to crawl our arms further around. I can even get to where I can almost clasp my shoulder blades in the back. You can also go through the motion of pulling them away from each other. If you do a lot of weightlifting, especially rows and things like that, this area can get tight. So if we've gotten our elbows past each other, we can look at, we're just going to do a preliminary eagle pose here, touching the backs of our hands. We'll get a little deeper later. I want to make sure our bodies are nice and warm before we go any further. Let's go ahead and open up here, and we're going to take our elbows and press them back. So now we're opening up across our chest. Let's find our 3-part breath today, because that really gets into the lungs. So as we do our 3-part breath, we fill up the belly, but then we let the rib cage expand and our heart lifts. So everything up here opens up, and then exhale, let it squeeze in. Elbows back, opening up space in the front. After doing these stretches today, we should find that we breathe a little easier. Let's take the other arm on top. So just taking a few breaths here, and we can begin to walk our hands around, see how close they get to our shoulder blades on this side. Maintaining that full length in our spine, we want to go round through our sit bones, lift up. And again, just a quick little assessment, see if we can touch the backs of our hands. And let's open up from here. We're going to take our hands back behind us, and we're going to clasp our hands. So if we are warm, we can probably do this. If not, or if we don't have that flexibility in our shoulders, or we're really tight across the chest, we can take our strap, and we can actually just hold on to part of our strap behind us. So just holding it anywhere. Again, we can use a blanket or a block here. Sitting ourselves up really tall. So as we begin to deepen our breath, we might find that we can walk our hands a little closer on the strap and just press back, letting our shoulders roll back. Again, keeping our spine tall. We don't want to find ourselves in a back bend here, but we do want to lift tall. let's slowly release from here. And let's go ahead and take one of our blocks, and we're going to take it between our forearms. And we're going to start here, squeezing the block. So as we squeeze here, we should be innervating our chest, which actually allows our shoulders to come forward and opens up our back. So let's inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhaling up, exhaling down. So easy fingers. And let's set that aside. We're going to take an easy side bend here because the area that we're working again is the ribs. Let's focus on really opening up, lifting up, and maybe towards that corner where the ceiling meets the wall. Breathing deeply. So we'll find we're a little compressed in this lung, open in this one. So let's really breathe into it and let it go. Let's take it to the other side. And again, really opening through that side of our rib cage, taking advantage of that space over there. And let's come back up. So this is where the block comes in. We're going to set one block across this way and one block up this way. We're going to do a supported fish pose. If you have a blanket or a towel that you can roll up, make yourself a roll about this big, and you can place it right where this block is. The difference is your head will be resting on the floor, but you can place it here just underneath the shoulder blades. This is really going to help open our chest. If you're using blocks, however, use two, and I recommend these thicker ones. They do make them thinner. Get the thicker ones. And we're going to lie down, and it may help if you have somebody to help you. That's even better. But we're going to lie down where our shoulder blades are right on one, and we'll have to adjust the other one to where it's under our head. Let me roll the head back. There we go. So adjusting our body to where we are comfortable. Arms, I like to take mine out wide because that gets the most opening. But if you need to have them here, we can have them here as well. But this is a supported pose, allowing our chest to open up, opening up against gravity, and the support allows us to really stay here. We'll stay here for a minute or two, finding that three-part breath. When I've done this one in classes, I usually do it towards the end, like right before Shavasana, and a lot of people will stay right here in this for their Shavasana. It is best to keep our nose and gaze to the ceiling. If at any point you feel dizzy or this doesn't feel good, you can always come off. But let's really focus on our three-part breath. And if we're on a blanket or towel, we'll probably feel better. You can also stick a pillow under your head if you're on the blanket or towel. So we are very slowly going to bring our hands back in, hug in through our core, do a little sit-up, but pushing into the floor. And we'll sit back up. And just take a moment to notice how that feels. Sometimes when we get a little stretch across here, we can get a little sore just because we're not used to doing that much opening. So just be aware of that. We're going to look at getting a little deeper into our upper back now. So we can go back to that hug that we did before. And if that was enough for you, great. If this was enough for you, that's fine as well. But we're going to look at taking our arms completely across each other and seeing if we can wrap them around to the palm. And we're going to go back to that inhale and exhale. If you would rather squeeze the block between the elbows as before, that's also an option here. but we're also going to see about rotating the elbows in a circle. Let's try circling the other way. All right, let's unwind that. Let's just do a quick little neck stretch here, because we did work those muscles a little bit just now. And let's lengthen up and just take another easy twist. So our twists start at our waist, but then we move to the shoulders, and we can finish up with the chin. But just focus on that thoracic area, the area of the shoulders today, and feel a little bit of a stretch around the rib cage. And let's unwind. Just for fun, let's switch the front leg. And again, really focus on starting at the hips, but focus on that part where we move our shoulders. And we can do the head as well, but really focus on that thoracic area, the rib cage area. Stretching. So there is a little bit of a stretch to the upper back behind that one shoulder, and some opening across the chest on the other side. And let's unwind from here. So we're going to go back to that upper back opening again, other arm on top. So if you're just doing the hug, put the other arm on top. Again, you can squeeze the block between the arms and do the up and down, or we're going to see about crossing that other arm all the way over and going for the wrap. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Drawing a circle. Take it slowly, both directions. And again, let's open up here. We're going to see this time using our strap again, or see if we can actually clasp our hands this time. And if we are using the strap, just work every couple of breaths on walking the fingers in a little closer to each other each time. So really open here. Maybe walk the fingers in a little closer each time. For those of us who are able to clasp our hands, let's really squeeze the hands together. See if we can lift our hands up any amount. This is a really deep stretch across the chest. And let's release from there. Let's go back to that clap, forward and back. And we're going to find ourselves face down on our mat. So this is going to be another deep stretch for the upper back. And this one is called our knot. And it's going to involve crossing our arms again. If this is too intense, just go back to sitting up and giving yourself a hug, because gravity is really going to be working on us here, and it may get too intense. It may, especially if we have some issues in our shoulders. But our arms are going to be in the same position. But we're going to have one straight out here and the other straight out here. And we want to make sure that we get our shoulders up over. So if you look down, it'll look like your arms are in a knot. Just let the chin rest on the top arm. And again, if this gets too intense, take it easy, come back up and just cross the arms and sit. We want to keep our head neutral, chin resting on our arm, breathing as deeply as we can. So this one and the next one can get intense on the shoulders. Keep that in mind. And make sure to modify as necessary. So let's use our core pull our arms in, and we're going to go ahead and lie down all the way on the floor. So for this one, sit up, or you can even do it here. I'll show you an option here. So hold on to that strap or clasp the hands and just open the chest right here. We're going to start with an arm straight out. We can modify this by bringing the arm in closer to the body as necessary. But start with it straight out, and we are just going to roll over any amount. We can also use something under our head if we have it. And then just kind of working to our own comfort level here, using our top hand, we can press over, unwind ourselves more and more as we go. Listening to our own body. If this gets too intense, we're going to take a break from it. Let's go ahead and roll ourselves back over. And let's take this to the other side. It's the same thing. Start with it straight out. Bring it in closer to your body as you need. And begin to just roll over. So we can always stay right here. Here, or with the legs bent. That might be as intense as we need to go today. If, however, we have the capability, we can roll over even until our bottoms are flat on the floor. That's not happening for me today, but it might happen for you. Just make sure in any pose ever that you can breathe. Maybe a little challenging in some poses, but should still be doable. So let's go ahead and unwind back onto our belly. We're going to come back to that upper body stretch with the other arm on top. So again, sit up, give yourself a hug. If that's better for your body, make sure the shoulders come up over the arms. Chin resting on our arm. It kind of falls right where that X that your arms create is. So for this one, we want to focus on feeling the breath in the back of our lungs. So right back where our shoulder blades are. And using our core, let's walk our arms in. And let's go ahead and press ourselves up. And we're going to take another side bend just to really open up all around the whole rib cage. This time we may find that we can go a bit further. But let's make sure to keep this arm over our ear, over our head. So we feel that stretch all the way up from the rib cage through the shoulder. Now let's bring it up, take it to the other side. And again, only go as deep as you're comfortable going. And let's come back up, find a nice comfortable seat, relax the shoulders. One quick little neck stretch to each side. And let's sit tall here, lengthening up. And just notice our breathing, finding that 3-part breath. Seeing if it's any different than it was before. Hopefully we are feeling a bit more opening along our chest, upper back, whole area of our rib cage. These exercises do facilitate easier breathing, so if we ever have time that we are having difficulty breathing, we can try some of these exercises. And they may not all be for everyone, so kind of figure out what does work for you. I think we had enough different modifications here to try some different things. If you agree with me, give this video a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave me comments. Let me know what you did think. If you liked using the blocks for the chest exercises or the strap, if you didn't like particular exercises for whatever reason, let me know so that I can plan future videos according to everybody's personal needs. And remember, find me on patreon.com as well. Look up Chittarupa Yoga and Fitness. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Namaste.